Hello, I'm Jesse McAnally, and welcome to a bonus episode of Musicals with Cheese, where we're going to be talking about our Kickstarter currently running for the film Daughters of the Domino. And today I'm joined by my wonderful producer of the film, Gloria Koehler. How are you doing today, Gloria?
Hi, I'm doing great. I'm doing great.
we
Super
gotta
excited.
we gotta pretend like you didn't just like get 3 hours of sleep and that we're on equal energy right now.
Oh, I didn't know that we'd be giving all of that information. Yeah. Night shoots are night shoots, and you have to be
Yes.
up all night. And then, you've got to also be the person making sure the train's going. So you got to be the person with all the energy the entire time. So,
I mean, if there's anyone to do it, I'm glad it's you because you make sure everything happens. So
yeah, you don't forget
let's
things.
let's pretend the people that listen to this don't know exactly what a producer does because they're in the theater world and they don't. Producers are basically just the ones that write the check in the theater world, whereas
Yeah.
in the film world they have a like actual creative production side role. So pretend I'm your grandmother and you have to explain to me what a producer is.
Okay, so it's a lot of logistics. It's the prep, it's the planning, it's the execution, it's making sure the train's moving towards,
Mhm.
the end goal, which is having a fully edited film, and then that's been distributed, that's been already marketed. So that you've got to think of long run for everything. There's a long run for your actual shoot days. Of course, there's like a shooting schedule, but then there's like a larger production schedule, which goes up to like casting, deadlines, locations, payments being in, vendors booked. I mean, it can go through everything in money management. So it's just a lot to juggle, but it's a lot of collaboration. You're a communicator, and you're there to find creative solutions and support your director and
Mhm.
your creative team.
Yeah, so I've always referred to them as like the set mom,
Yeah.
or the set dad, or the set parent, the one that is trying to keep an hands-off approach, but will lend a gentle hand to where you need to be.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, but now, as a more deeper question, who are you, Miss Gloria Kohler? If
Uh,
you have to introduce yourself to the world, who are you?
well, I'm I don't know exactly how to even say that. I'm a woman, I'm a filmmaker, I'm focused, I have a lot of goals and a lot of long-term stretches. I plan out my life kind of like a film, but allow a lot of creative leeway wherever I would like, because I'm impulsive, but I'm the kind of planning impulsive. So think of an idea and then I let that what if sit with me and then kind of take it and run if it can go there. That's how I moved to Cali so fast. It's how and a lot of reasons why I just keep getting hired. It's because I just keep going.
Mhm.
And I set a goal and I set my mind to it. I just keep going. When there's a will, there's a way. And if you can't find a way, you don't have the will, which is fine. No one needs the will to do everything. But don't say there's not a way because someone will find a way.
Fantastic.
I don't know if that answered the question
No,
though.
that
I have
answered the
no
question
idea.
ideally, the way that we
Okay.
all want. A lot more metaphysical, but I kinda prefer that because that's my vibe. So, people are coming to donate to this film, The Daughters of Domino. As we were recording this, it'll be in a different space from when this is released. We're recording this on, like, the 3rd day that of its, run on Kickstarter. It's been doing pretty well, at this point, but how would you pitch the film to people just coming in to hear and just wanting to listen? And also, what made you decide you wanted to hop onto this?
Well, the reason to hop onto it is always you, Jesse. You're an incredible director and creative, and I'd love to be a part of any project you do. So that's always a big reason for me. Another big reason is this would be my first feature film I'm producing. I've
Mhm.
produced a couple of TV series and shorts, and I've had some collaborative teams with it. I've done it solo. So this is the first time I'm doing it. It's a feature, and I'd rather work with someone who genuinely is collaborative and has a creative vision that they're gonna stick to, and then that's theirs. So they're true to their own creativity too. They won't
Mhm.
just bend to anybody's idea because they've thought about this a lot. So that's always the reason why. And I want my first feature film to be in a collaborative mindset and have this positive energy to it and just push and drive forward. And I know the time difference is a little difficult, but
We're honestly
Um,
making it work pretty well up
it's
to this
yeah.
point. For I want people to know we kind of had like a baby test run for how our producing directing relationship is going to be, and I had a blast doing it. But the Kickstarter video, there was about 3 variations of that, and
Yep.
to get to the one we're at today, and thankfully my producer gave really good notes. Very direct, very curt, very not sugarcoating notes, which is what you need as a creative. I'm not trying to say this to like just blow smoke up your ass. Sincerely,
Like, guys, if you want someone who will tell your shit that it's trash, then hire her, is what I'm hearing.
no, because you were right.
It's
Um,
good
w-
though.
what you gave very good notes, and while I found my own way around to get to what we needed to be, you gave notes and I addressed them. I feel like.
Yeah, I mean, well, you definitely, and I definitely feel like it was a big show of what our collaborative effort could be.
Hmm.
And it's nice to actually get that kind of collaboration because sometimes I'm not saying everybody, but some directors who are also writers and then go forward in their own production in their own art. It's like a my way or the highway. I've thought it all out. It's only mine. And like you're very much you're like that in some sense for the creative because you've created these characters and you're true to the characters that they are, and you want to make sure that their lines and everything that we went through when we were first reading the finalized script, like
Hmm.
you supported it. And it was I mainly just had questions of like, have you thought about this and this? I was, trying to find if there would be and could be any holes in the storyline at all or character development. I was trying to find those, and then you just like filled in those spaces. So you thought about it, and you're like, oh no, I'm gonna show that's like cinematically like this. So that's really cool,
I like
and
how
it
you're
was
trying to
nice
talk
to.
around it because of spoilers. We had a big trouble when me and Nathan recorded it when it's like, how are we gonna talk about this? How are we gonna do this?
Oh yeah. I won't give anything away. I won't give anything away because obviously you guys should like, help fund it and everyone should support us by watching it when it
Mhm,
is finally made because it's an incredible story. But that's why I really like working with you too. And you took just some of the notes from the marketing aspect, which I tend to do very well with in the marketing
mhm,
world. I do work in commercials full time right now. Um, but I just tend to do really well with it and push with that. And it's nice to have someone like receive your notes and fully receive it and absorb them, and then still put them to good use creatively in their own way too. So that's really cool because you're a great collaborator. So that's
mhm,
obviously why I love working with you. And then for this script, we had gone through a couple different versions of
mhm,
scripts of this project in the past few years.
mhm.
And, I was interested from the get-go just of the main character, because there's such a, how do I say this? Intense character, just as
Yes.
a person, and there's so much, like, development, Okay, so what a lot of people lack, I feel like, in writing these days, and film writing, is when they're writing something, they write a character, and you can tell it's a character.
Mhm,
They don't write a human that's had an entire life and a backstory and thoughts, hopes, fears, dreams, either shattered or built up and destroyed or elevated and or lifted entirely. So there's a human behind every one of your characters, and you could see it from Detective Rose from the very beginning. As many variations as the script has gone through, that has stayed true, and that all of the other characters started gaining more and more of their own human development, I guess you could
mhm.
say, as we've gotten to the final script block, which is, yeah, it's a great story. I mean, I'm always into watching like a female protagonist, absolutely, but everyone's got trauma, so it's really nice to see, some of that come out and actually you get to see like real life for a second.
I agree, but it's also like we talk about the trauma and all that, and that is a part of the narrative, but it's a fun movie too. Like that's the big
Yeah.
thing. We want people to come. Someone asked me today, like, how would you describe it? Because I know you've made stuff like Luchica that's kind of weird. Like, scale of 1 to 10, how weird is it? I'm like, it's about a 6. It's a real crowd pleaser. I think it's a crowd pleasing film, to be honest.
Definitely. Oh my god, and that's the thing is, like, even like, it's a fun film because, like, yeah, it's got that depth, so it's got that character development, but then, like, your ideas for the actual cinematography of it all, it being
Mhm.
very, like, classy, and you can totally tell even on the Kickstarter, like, if anyone's, like, listening, like, you guys should literally look at the Kickstarter, it breaks it all down. This nerd made, like, cards of our faces for everything. This is all like it's so classy. It's like you're thrown back into time with this like old aesthetic, but it's modern and then it's like actual real life modern problems too. And then there's like, the jokes and laughter and hints and it's all great. It's gonna be really, really good.
Yes.
And I think that actually like hits several markets right there because I mean, female protagonists, of course, and it's not like you're trying to hit markets. It's just an incredible
No. It's
story.
just how the
Like
narrative fell
and
together.
and which is, I mean, that's a perfect thing. Yeah, you hit several markets is like the like term you could use, but like in reality, what we're saying is like everyone could enjoy this film, like everyone. So, I mean, if you don't like good films, then you might not, but
If you just like bad movies, I guess you might not enjoy it.
yeah, then by all means, please finish watching shows. Like, I don't know.
Mhm.
So it's yeah, that's I think I answered all the questions.
Yes. And while this is the first time you're working as a producer with me. This is not your first time working with me. You were the wonderful casting director for Luchica, and you did an amazing job. And if you've seen that movie, you will just know like those actors are killing it, and they're a part of the tapestry that makes that like my favorite thing I've ever done up to this point.
Yeah. I mean, that's a very cool story too, because like
Mhm.
when we talked about the premise of it, it was just like, what does this guy want to make? Like, I was like, this is
This
so
is
like
weird.
I'm a little no well, yeah, but I like it, and I like different weird things. So it's like I gained a bit of a reputation of I can find things. Like it's just one phone call. It takes
Mhm.
one phone call. It can be a person, place, thing, very specific item, very specific actor. Like and you're just like so it's an opera short, but not really because it's a silent. And we're gonna like put everything the music over it back like over it. So like we're not actually running mainly. I'm just like I'm like, "This kid, okay, what is
I
going on?" And then, as we continued our relationship and you continued, like, telling me more and more and more about the characters and allowing me to ask as many questions as I do,
Mhm.
because I will say it over and over, God knows I ask a lot of questions. And I mean, your brain, it's an odd one. It's wonderful. It's great, and it turned out awesome. It turned out so cool. You can see, like, I mean, I think what you were saying about every step of the vision and
Mhm.
the characters really being able to emanate that was awesome.
Mhm. And
Awesome
I
to see.
And I think it's a better thing to it's easy to watch that and think, "Oh, this is a fully formed thing," than to try to pitch it as individual ideas as you're making it. I think you
Yeah,
watch it and it makes sense, but trying
yeah,
to get people on board like, "Oh, no, wait, hold on, guys. Listen to this."
yeah.
When you have nothing, you have no opera music, you have but I promise you it'll be there. So it takes a lot of trust. I guess that is a discovery I'm making that it requires a lot of trust in a director to be able to pitch you what exactly you're supposed to see. So with this film coming out, we are doing this Kickstarter, which so far we are doing pretty okay. I won't say we're like gangbusters doing great, but we're doing pretty good. If we keep up at the pace we're going, we will probably hit our goal, but that is all up to you guys.
Yeah.
Sincerely. I do want to go onto the Kickstarter real quick and talk about some of the new people since the last time I recorded that have joined on, and I want to give them personal thanks. If you don't hear your name or you heard your name in the last one, just for time's sake, because I got more questions for Gloria, I'm just gonna skip y'all. Listen to the last episode, you'll hear those. So I do want to personally bring up folks like Mark Phillips, Vicky and Mark Barish, Norm Killip, Liz and Jenna Barish, who all have donated into like the hundreds of dollars toward this within the last 4 hours since I last recorded. So it's been a pretty sizable amount of folks jumping on board and trying to support this. And I'm grateful for each and every one of you. Gloria, how would you try to get people to join this Kickstarter if you just bumped into them on the street?
Honestly, it would be just going and telling them about the film. I mean,
Mhm.
the premise of it, I even what I just explained, like it's there, and it's an incredible story. It's a modern story, and then having it have such a classy look just brings in that aesthetic that, I mean,
Mhm.
it's throws us back, and we're not even that old. Like, and
No, it's
it's
timeless.
very classy. Exactly, it's so timeless. I mean, and to be able to see something like that in that way, I think that would be the biggest one.
Mhm.
The biggest push to have people at least look at the Kickstarter. Just give 2 minutes of your time and just look at it, read the premises,
Read
and the
through the
story
rewards. There's some
breakdown.
cool rewards that you get out of this.
Rewards are awesome. The rewards are awesome, guys, and it's
People
like,
are already getting the Blu-rays that don't exist. Like, that's the one the movie doesn't exist and they want the Blu-rays.
yeah, it's like, and that's the thing too, is like, we're so excited to push and make it, and we just want to make sure that we can make it the best we can.
Yes.
And honestly, we can't do that without at least a little help. Even $5 can go a long way. Like
Mhm,
25 people donating $5, it's still like a decent amount of money we can put towards something.
mhm.
Um,
I will like to remind you that this is an all or nothing campaign, so we either hit 20,000 or we get none of it. So we're gonna keep on pushing you. I know you're probably getting annoyed by me on Twitter. I don't care. Just let's get it done. I'm gonna keep being in your ear, and then I promise on November 4th I will be quiet for a bit. Just for a
maybe.
bit. I can't be too
Yeah,
long.
there you go.
I'm a very loud man in general.
This is true. This is
Mhm.
true.
So, Gloria, what will be next? Like, I think people, and I tend to overlook this side of it, which is probably because I'm just a creative person rather than a structural person. Let's just say we hit the Kickstarter goal. When do we start production, and when should people be expecting their rewards, so to say? Like, if they get the Blu-ray, when do you think we should be hitting those marks?
Well, I think it honestly depends on, because a lot of people just in general, when you're doing a like crowdfunding campaign like we
Hmm.
are right now, it's gonna really depend on how you kickstart, like you actually get off, and the fact that we've had like a decent amount of people
Hmm.
donate and pledge so far, that really does show that we're getting momentum and that we're being able to progress. So a lot of people will hold on to their pledges and won't pledge just yet until they see
Yes.
how well it's doing, because they won't invest their own money until they see that other people are willing to invest theirs as well. So with us having gotten a decent amount of our goals so far, at least for only being in for
Hmm.
a few days, it's not bad at all. It's we're looking to project up, so I think we might hit our mark. And I say that so hesitantly because I grew up in theater and I'm not about to jinx shit. So
Yeah, you're not gonna say
no,
Macbeth tonight.
no, it's like, oh, people who don't believe in the superstitions. I'm like, what do you do with your life? Like, you just walk around with no anxiety? Who are you? Like,
Hmm.
but for real though, so we're looking like we're going up decently well, and I know
Hmm.
I'm trying to get the word out as much as I possibly can, and of course I plan on pledging as well, so I'm going to make sure I'm sliding in right before we close out. So
Yes.
um,
We're gonna see how this all plays out, but to the people that have donated, to the people that are planning to donate, thank you in advance for all your dedication and for believing in this project. I swear, even people that haven't donated have just been like, I want to see this movie. I literally got a message from someone I haven't spoken to in 10 years that said, I just watched a video and it sounded like a movie I wanted to see, so here's money. And I'm like, that's it. That's what we want.
that's it. Just believe in us, guys. I promise we'll do it.
I promise it'll look great. You'll enjoy it. It won't. No matter what, it won't be as bad as The Room.
Yeah. Well,
Like,
yeah, that's true.
it would take a. It would actually take
Don't
more work
compare
to make it.
yourself to the worst, though. Yeah, literally. So come
It
on
would.
now.
It would take a lot more effort to make a bad movie than a watchable one.
I think the most frustrating thing, even with The Room, is like people don't understand how much, or people don't always understand how much money goes into, well, film and film production in general, but
Yes.
even like shorts and even films.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, The Room, millions of dollars wasted,
At least $6
gone.
million.
Like,
Especially,
and
did you know that they shot that on digital and 35 millimeter at the same time on one rig?
oh
That's
my
just money
god,
down the drain.
why?
I
It's
don't know.
It's like, yeah. So it's just like it's so frustrating to see sometimes like people who don't worry, not worry about money, but aren't as familiar with
Mhm.
like money struggles in getting their own projects funded because there'll be like a bunch of rich people who've already had like their name in a bunch of stuff say, hey, I want to do something. So people just hand them a couple $1 million and
Yes.
say, go play, like and so that's why projects like this are a little bit more difficult to get off the ground because we're not any huge significant names. I mean, like not even the closest. So we're
No.
just trying to even just make a good project and a good film that we think people will enjoy. And that of course we're gonna have fun like filmmaking too. So that's why we really just want and our constant push and to get people on board is we might not be able to make like the film as good as we know we could if
Mhm.
we don't get your help, which is, why we even say just even $5 can add up if just a simple five.
Mhm. And I get that times are tough. So even if you can't donate, even sharing it with like your rich uncle or something, that'd that'd be great.
Yeah,
Everyone's got that one rich uncle that's like sleeping under a pile of money. Like we all have that one.
yep,
And
yep.
he's not using that money. He could use it to make a movie. He could literally there's like a free not free. There's a paid producer credit on this thing where you could be listed as one of the like the executive producers. So
Yeah, yeah. And I know plenty of people who make that much money in like
a
a week,
second.
a day. So it's yeah. Well,
Mhm.
yeah, any kind of hope helps and
Yeah.
ultimately the project is going to be awesome.
Yeah. We're gonna end on
So,
a positive here, Gloria. Before all that, what are you most excited about? Because no matter what, this film's we're gonna make this film. It's gonna be a good time. That's why I'm going. I'm thinking positive. What are you most excited for?
I'm a producer and I've got a producer's mind, sure, but I AD right now and I continue to AD and I've AD'd for a minute, so shooting is always my favorite part. You're right in it and you guys are bonding and you guys are working towards a common goal and yeah, we finally got that shot. Let's move on. Let's do this next bit. Like art department getting into it and the actors really like watching their last take and they're just like, I love that. That looks so cool. And they're really like honestly, because the energy of a good set can uplift any day. And there's a lot of days on set where like, it's a long day, it's a little frustrating. We've done the take a few times. I mean, probably not with you as a director, Jesse, but like we've done it a few million times and we just haven't nailed everything at once. And and there are some frustrations, but shooting is such a bonding experience. And I'm sure, I mean, I did theater since I was 2. I climbed up on stage and refused to get off as the tale is told, but, so I've been in theater, and that was the funnest part was, Hell Week. Everyone's just like, "Oh, Hell Week's gonna suck," and I'm just like, "Hell Week's my favorite." Like, we all get to see each other every single day and rehearse the show a million times. Let's do it. Like, I'm so excited. And so, of course, that's my same thing with film, like, shoot days. I love the shoot days. That's gonna be so much fun to me. I haven't talked to you about this yet, Jesse, but I really, really, really wanna make sure we get a lot of BTS. And, of course, I know you've already thought about it too, but
I have that set up
there's a
already.
lot of discussions. Yeah, okay,
Um,
okay,
because
meeting
it's
after this.
also a thing that's happening in our Kickstarter where no matter what, we have to give them BTS.
Well, yes, but I have, like, a few ideas too, so
Okay,
it's,
let's
like,
go.
layers. Anyway,
We're
um
well, enjoy this podcast production meeting right now.
thank you guys. Thank you guys for joining us. Silent partners. No, but like it is so much fun for me. And the BTS
Mhm.
photos and videos can always show like what and a snippet of what that experience is like being a part of a filmmaker. And I think part of what our Kickstarter was so cool when we were talking about it was that the BTS that we're going to take, we want to be giving people like weekend updates,
Yes.
like weekend updates. This is what we shot. This is what's happening. This is and we'll and anybody who picked that perk can see it. And
Yeah, we want people to know
um
that we're doing things and what's going on, and because of the way that we have to shoot this film, like, it's very easy to send you guys stuff.
yeah, yeah, and yeah, so
Mhm,
that's another thing too is I'm always excited for that and being
mhm.
able to show I'm from a like family, they're not really in film, knowing about film. I'll try to tell them, but some people have their interest, some people don't have their interest in it. So
Yeah.
I'm the only person in my family who does it, so it's always really cool to me to be able to give that outlet to other people who aren't in this industry full time or don't get to work in this industry at all. See a little snippet of what it's like to be here because it's a fun time and
It is.
we're all weird and goofy and it's great.
But let's not paint it. It is work. Like, you know what?
Yeah.
The one thing I'm not looking forward to for this entire shoot?
What?
The first day. The first day is always like the
It's always
worst
so
day where
bad
you're gonna have to figure things out. The second day is always the best day of your life, and it gets better
because
and
it's not
better.
the first. Yeah.
Yeah, because you know how everything goes, you know the politics, you know the set. The first
Yeah.
day is always like it's the first day of school. It's gonna be rough,
Yeah.
but once
Yeah.
you get past that, it's a blast.
Definitely. Yeah.
Gloria, you are a wonderful human being. I'm very lucky to know you. I'm even luckier to get to work with you. You have social medias, and I want people to go and find them. So why don't you promote them for the world?
Oh, my Instagram is Gloria underscore Kohler underscore pro. Like production, professional, proactive. I'm insane, I know. And then my Facebook is just Gloria Kohler. You can follow me on Twitter if you want, but I'm gonna warn you, it's basically just for me to be a really hardcore Taylor Swift fan.
But
So
it's
there's
great. So
like
follow
only
her
Taylor Swift
at
stuff
not
there.
underscore a underscore natural 98.
It's from
And
This Is Me Trying, the song. She's like, "I've never been a natural. All I do is try, try, try." And I've always related to that line.
you would be
This is not a
surprised
Taylor
at
Swift promo. I'm so sorry.
you would be surprised how much overlap with Taylor Swift fans and musical theater fans there are. So
There's a lot I know.
you know, there's a lot of them. I love
Try
Taylor
and
Swift.
follow me. I'm a little detective. I always find the Easter eggs and then I post them and then no one sees them and then when they come true, I'm like, guys, I told you.
I
So
mean,
whatever.
I mean, the real murderer here is Taylor Swift herself, putting all these quizzes on her flippin' Instagram and whatnot.
A savage woman. Her brain. She literally released a song last night, or since we've recorded it, Karma. And she's been hinting at Karma being a song and or album for like 3 years now. And we've all thought we're crazy. And we're not crazy, so that's nice to know.
We're not crazy. That should be a that sounds like a Taylor
Never
Swift
said
album. We're not
say
crazy.
yeah, yeah, it's true.
Gloria, I love you with all my heart. I can't wait to work with you, and we'll see you guys next week. But please check out our Kickstarter. Donate to our Kickstarter, god damn it. Do it. I know where you live. I know where you have money. We're gonna push you up against the lockers and ask for your lunch money. Let's go. Put it right into
Go
my
with
Kickstarter.
go with a please.
Don't make me bully you. I know where you live.